So there's been some pretty inconsequential drama that's kind of been blown out of proportion recently surrounding a YouTuber called Quinton Reviews, and normally I wouldn't like perpetuate this drama and make another video talking about it because the drama in itself is pretty insignificant in my opinion, but the reaction Quinton has had in particular to this whole controversy is very strange because of the way he started this controversy. So Quinton Reviews is a review channel who just makes reviews on movies, and then he occasionally makes videos talking about other YouTubers, but it's in a very historical context, and it's not really in a, like, I'm gonna call you out type of way. And he didn't even get in trouble for any of these type of videos. He got in trouble because in one of his movie reviews, he randomly just brought his political opinion into the video.
Can't even get mad anymore about this stuff, because it's like if I got mad about stuff like that, I would just I'd just be like a very unhappy person all the time. It's just, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed movie.
So, here's the thing. I fucking hate Trump. He embarrasses me every day. He makes us all look like backwards idiots, and frankly, the fact that he got elected means that we probably are all backwards idiots. He's ruining people's lives. He's making horrible racist decisions, which are probably going to have long-lasting repercussions long after he's out of office. Overall, I would be a much happier person if we found a way to deport him from every position of power that he has ever had.
And obviously, this stirred up a lot of controversy, you know? This was even premiered live, and I watched the premiere live because I just enjoy Quinton's videos in general, and I happened to be online when the video was being premiered. And the live chat went crazy when that part of the video happened, and there was a huge discussion in the comments. And his reaction on Twitter, just kind of boasting that he made that type of segment in the video and just talking about how he loved the reaction to it, made me think it was pretty deliberate, especially since it's in a edited video that he probably worked hours on, and it felt like a very deliberate move to have that segment in the video. And then he does it again in his next video, where he takes a little bit of a jab at JonTron, calling him a racist.
Saying that every angry gamer is trying to be James Rolfe is like saying that every racist gamer is trying to be JonTron.
Now, me personally, I don't think he's a racist, but if he thinks that, and he wants to make this jab to spark controversy again in the comments, I don't really see this as a bad thing. It can bring activity to the comments, which brings the video up in the algorithm. That's a good thing to do, and also it seems like he kind of enjoys the chaos and kind of embraces it based off the tweets he's been making, talking about how he just loves to hear people talk about this, and he's been replying to other people saying like, haha, if you don't think this way, lol, look at you, you're so dumb. And maybe this is a little bit insensitive and distasteful, but to me, if that's what you want to do, you just do it, man. It's the internet, have fun with it, you know? And he recently did this again with another tweet he made, talking about Ben Shapiro's appearance in a PewDiePie video, talking about how he thinks that PewDiePie shouldn't promote someone who is so far right-leaning. And obviously, Ben Shapiro didn't really say anything political in the video, he was just reading off memes. So I felt like he just said that to try and spark some more controversy and have a bit of fun on his Twitter. Now, I'm not saying that Ben Shapiro is not transphobic, or that it's okay to be transphobic, or that Quinton didn't genuinely believe what he was tweeting, but I do feel like the main reason he tweeted that was just to spark some controversy rather than actually improve a situation. This idea of Quinton just trying to stir up controversy for the sake of it really solidified in my mind when I saw that he uploaded a video talking about PewDiePie versus T-Series, but supporting T-Series over PewDiePie in the video. Unfortunately, it was taken down 20 minutes after it was initially uploaded, so I didn't get a chance to watch it until someone sent it to me way later down the line. But at the time of just knowing that the video was posted without actually watching it, my impression was that he was just trying to stir up controversy for the sake of it. Obviously, this spawned some videos from smaller commentators talking about the situation, discussing their opposing views, and kind of just titling the video Quinton Reviews Exposed or Quinton Reviews Political Opinion. Basically just critical videos talking about the controversial stuff that Quinton willingly put out onto his YouTube channel and his Twitter page. Now, after these commentary videos came out, it really made me start to question the intentions behind Quinton posting his controversial opinions. Because after these commentary videos were posted about him, it kind of started a bit of a downward spiral in the way he responded to these types of criticisms. Because initially he was kind of like embracing it, and I thought that he actually intended all of this to happen. But then once he started responding to the commentary videos in particular, he seemed a bit more salty. At first it was still his kind of cocky attitude, saying that like, who are they fooling making these videos, and they're just guppies, little adorable guppies, like still that cocky mentality. But as more controversies started to pack on, specifically the one where he was talking about Monkey Jones's channel termination and mocking it, which he did end up deleting like within a minute of it being posted, but still, he just started to be like more sad, kind of more resentful, and honestly became more depressing. He started making these tweets that he also quickly deleted later, which is a little weird because initially I was kind of like against Quinton almost fully and had no sympathy, and then these tweets actually gave me some sympathy for him because he is kind of being like bombarded by all these videos, and if no one talked to him like previously before making these videos, it does seem like a bit of harassment. And honestly, I did kind of feel for him a bit with these tweets, but he ended up deleting them anyway, so I guess he doesn't stand by them, or maybe he was drunk tweeting, or I don't know really what happened, but his attitude really started to go from like cocky and expecting it to more like depressed and like, I made a mistake, I don't know what I'm doing, which is super strange to me because the controversy that he started himself was very deliberate, and it wasn't accidentally said in a live stream like with JonTron or in an unscripted video or any of those type of settings. It was made in a very deliberately edited down scripted video, which is just strange. Like, he should have expected it. It seemed like this was all planned, and then once he gets normal, typical backlash for it, it seems unexpected to him, which is super strange coming from Quinton, because I know he knows a lot about the YouTube algorithm and YouTube as a whole and how audiences react to stuff. He wouldn't have a channel this big with so many successful videos if he did not understand, at least to a certain extent, how people can react to certain situations. And I know for a fact that he is knowledgeable about YouTube audiences and the algorithm and how people would react to things, because he talks about it so eloquently in his video about T-Series versus PewDiePie.
I guess I've been doing YouTube so long and I've been researching the culture so long that I no longer see individual successes as actual representations of merit. Instead, I see them very cynically as repercussions of cultural events and changes on the website. PewDiePie is number one because around the time that YouTube switched from maximizing clicks to maximizing watch time, he started uploading long-form Let's Play content. His momentum has never faltered because he's mainly kept up with the algorithm, uploading multiple videos a week and keeping some sort of consistent style between them.
Now, since we're already talking about it, let me delve a bit deeper into Quinton Reviews T-Series video. This is both a very good video and a very bad video, and here's why. The video itself would have been super good and actually a great new perspective on PewDiePie versus T-Series if it didn't have this one critical error in it. He does not understand the joke. He does not understand the humor behind PewDiePie versus T-Series.
In this specific sect of YouTube, there's been this great mystery as to who T-Series is and why they've become so popular. Specifically, PewDiePie's confusion has gone far enough that he's openly campaigned against them and has shared Reddit conspiracy theories about the situation in his own videos. In the last month or so, PewDiePie and this guy called Mr. Beast have been openly campaigning against T-Series. They've spread a lot of theories about sub-botting, and they've been taking out billboards, and honestly, this whole thing is just kind of sad. The perfect metaphor would be that T-Series is this guy who loves jogging. And every morning he gets up and he does a quick shower, he gets dressed, and he goes out and he does a really enthusiastic jog. And every day, there's another guy that's there. And that guy also likes jogging. And he's like, that's cool. So every day, these two guys are jogging next to each other. And then one day, the other guy runs up to him and is pissed. And he says, I'm gonna beat you.
T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch. Lasagna, bitch. Lasagna, bitch. Lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama.
We reach 75 million subscribers. So ridiculous. I have a video waiting to go up that we worked day and night to make happen at the time when T-Series is gonna pass, that I can't upload now because you guys keep subscribing. Stop subscribing.
So as you can see, you can clearly tell that he thinks like PewDiePie is pissed and it's actually a real arms race to get the subscriber count, when at the end of the day it's just kind of funny that a Indian music company is taking over PewDiePie, and it's funny to see PewDiePie react in that type of way, like pretending that he's like an individual person making like a fake diss track on T-Series and stuff like that. It's just like a really funny arms race to be going on, and honestly isn't meant to be taken seriously, but Quinton doesn't see that aspect of it, which really makes his video falter, because besides that aspect, I think the video is actually really smart. As you saw from the first clip I showed you of the video, he talks about certain things that not a lot of people really know about, and I think it's very intriguing from like his perspective as a successful YouTuber, like just seeing like why T-Series is the way it is and why T-Series is beating PewDiePie, and just kind of getting into more of the logistics of it. But he completely forgets the fact that it's a joke, or doesn't really understand that it's a joke. And this is further exemplified in the State of the YouTube podcast that he did with Emperor Lemon and Rusty Cage, where he kind of replies to a lot of this criticism. And when he's asked about the T-Series video, this is what he says.
As for the whole T-Series video, I realized, here's the reason I took it down. That was growing incredibly fast. It was a smart upload as a business move, and it was going to become my most viewed video, and I don't really care about that whole thing. And I did that video kind of half caring, being like, I'll make some jokes about this, but I don't think it matters. A lot of people got mad about the situation, telling me it was a bad video because of 1 or 2 points they didn't like. People are actively mad at me because of some of the jokes I made in that video.
He says that the video was bad because people were offended that he made fun of PewDiePie and he took a couple jabs at PewDiePie, which honestly, he didn't really put that many jabs into PewDiePie besides saying that it's petty, which is just a misunderstanding on his part. And it seems from that podcast that he still doesn't understand why PewDiePie versus T-Series is not a serious battle, and it's more of like a joking kind of humor thing, and just seeing PewDiePie consistently stay at the top is kind of like more of a test of what the YouTube community can do, rather than him actually wanting to be on top over T-Series as more of a selfish endeavor, as he kind of suggests it is. He says it's kind of petty, which in my opinion is not. It's just trying to see what YouTube as an audience can do. Like just seeing like how much influence YouTubers have and rallying around one simple action of subscribe to PewDiePie, I just think is so cool, and it just shows like how fast the channel can grow with that many shoutouts. It really shows just the power that YouTubers have as influencers, which I could just go on a whole rant about that. But this is about Quinton, not PewDiePie versus T-Series. So the fact that he doesn't understand the PewDiePie versus T-Series scenario fully, and he also doesn't understand the backlash that he's been getting from his self-imposed conflict, kind of really makes me question his mental state. Like, I'm actually honestly asking the question, is Quinton Reviews autistic? Or does he have, like, some sort of autistic traits or, like, social development issue where he just can't register why people think a certain way in his mind? Because watching the hour-long plus podcast with him trying to reply and rebuttal all the criticism he's been getting, on top of just like personally seeing this Quinton Reviews T-Series video and how he's deleting everything and how he seems very regretful of his actions despite them being pretty deliberate, and then on top of being smart in every other aspect. Except for this one part, he seems to have no idea, like no inclination in his mind that this social stuff would be a possibility. This is also further exemplified by him playing with Legos in the podcast.
You think that he's not malicious at all. I think he played you like a fiddle. I think he's a very malicious man who knows exactly what he's doing. How can he appear so confident in his videos, but then like behind the scenes he's like, oh, goofing and gaffing, oh, I've got to pick up my Legos during this podcast.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing. He was we heard this weird noise as we're introducing the podcast, and a couple times throughout. But at first I thought he was just opening a bag of chips and maybe eating some chips.
Because it was snack time
'Cause
with a crunchy snack during a podcast.
Yeah, you hear like a crackling and then a crunch. But then as I isolated his audio and I was listening and I heard something that sounded like little plastic pieces clinking on each other. And if you've ever played with Legos, as I did when I was younger, Quinton Reviews was playing with Legos as he was recording this, and the audio clearly shows that he was playing with Legos.
This is something he probably just did to reduce stress or anxiety during the podcast. This is another autistic trait, just fiddling with stuff. It's why fidget spinners exist. But honestly, I'm just going way too far down the rabbit hole to find explanations for his behavior. So I'm just going to stop there and ask what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about this behavior from Quinton Reviews? Does it make sense? Why do you think he's doing this? I'd love to hear your theories in the comment section. This whole situation has just been so weird for me to witness. Usually I'm so sure in like what people are thinking and what their ideals are in these drama scenarios, but this is the first time where I've ever just been completely confused and baffled with what's going through that person's head. Even though he had like a over 1 hour podcast to explain himself, I really didn't understand his point of view on a lot of things. But speaking of that, I will end this video by giving you footage to him answering the criticism and explaining his side on the 3 controversies that I discussed in this video. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers, and I will see you guys in another video. Here's the footage.
Putting politics into everything. I didn't bring this up earlier, but just using it as an example in your thin inning review, you just go on a 2-minute rant about Donald Trump for seemingly no reason.
Let me explain to this. Okay, for one, the reason I mentioned Donald Trump in that review is because I was making fun of the movie for being a bad Trump film. And then, I mean, my audience has tended to want me to be honest with them. And I didn't want people thinking that I was a Trump supporter, so I was just like, I'll just say, you know, hey guys, so I don't like Trump. And then I just figured people like it when I explain my positions. And I went on like literally a 40-second thing where I just explained my position on Trump. And like, again, like I wouldn't do that again. I mean, I've listened to people. People have said, hey, we don't want you to do that. And I said, all right. But I mean, I think like that was just a part of the review. I mean, I don't like doing content that garners this kind of attention, and I want to move away from it. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to resign and say that I was wrong on any of these stances, because I don't feel like I was. I mean, except for the exception is the Mumkey thing, and I like I said, like I didn't need to be told that was wrong. I took that down pretty quickly. Personally, I understand why people are upset. I probably wouldn't make a joke like that again. I figured that it wasn't going to be a controversial joke because it just seems like a thing that I mean, even JonTron's subreddit for a while was just constantly making jokes about this. And I feel like a lot of the hate is coming from people who don't understand the situation. And I really don't think I'm going to move too harshly on my stance on JonTron. I just will say that I understand that people are mad I made the joke. I probably wouldn't do a joke like that again. A lot of people have really thought that joke was funny. And I probably wouldn't do something like that again, but I'm not going to go as far as to apologize to JonTron. I think it is a nuanced issue where a lot of people have different perspectives on that one.
I'm just trying to get a better understanding here of why it's wrong to have someone like Ben Shapiro on the meme review, but if you flip it and have a left-leaning person on there, why that suddenly becomes okay and doesn't have the same principle.
I mean, here's my stance, all right? The biggest group of people who are convinced of anti-trans rhetoric are people who are in like middle school, high school, because they don't really know any trans people. They literally live in a little, because I mean, most high schoolers do not transition their genders. So, I mean, when you spread to them like misinformation about the community or like hatred about trans people, I mean, you're giving them information which is actually probably going to impact them because they are entirely misinformed about these people in these communities. And because PewDiePie's audience, there's so many of them who are young. I'm not saying all of them are young, but I'm saying there's so many of them are young. I am just worried about those people being directed to Ben Shapiro's platform where he is going to be spreading this misinformation.